Hi everyone. Today we are talking with Deepika Jindal, who runs Circle of Calm from Sydney. She is an empowerment coach and a meditation teacher, and she has a lot of experience working with corporates, and she's done a lot of challenging workshops herself. And I am looking forward to speaking with her because I have not had someone who teaches meditation on the podcast yet, or anyone actually who works in that space. So I'm very excited to have her on board and have a chat with her.
There we are.
There we are. How are you? Good
I'm
afternoon.
good afternoon. So good
And
to see you, Naina.
so good to see you too, Deepika. And really thank you for checking with the time on me because I am still new to Australia and I always get confused with the daylight savings and all the cities are on different times. I'm not used to that.
I totally hear you. I've been here for many years and I still get confused. And I'm so glad I checked because I was like, Adelaide, is it behind Sydney?
Yes,
So
a
I,
half hour. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I was just telling everyone that I've never had anyone like you on the podcast, and it'll be exciting to talk to someone who is an empowerment coach, who's a meditation teacher, and the whole history of you, like you're from India and you've been in Australia. So please tell us more. When did you get here?
yeah, absolutely. And first, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be talking to you and hopefully your community as well,
Thank
and
you.
brighter and broader set of people. So we moved to Australia about 21 years ago. So I know, feels like a lifetime. It feels like a lifetime, but it also feels fresh. It's a very different kind of a feeling, I think, leaving home and then, when we moved here, we did not quite think that we this was going to be our forever home, right?
Oh,
I,
really?
yeah, we just moved here and we thought we'll just, as an adventure. And yeah, and but as they say, rest is history. We still here 21 years later.
Yeah, but I think that mentality of looking at life as an adventure in general is a great way to look at it because then you don't get bogged down by dips and you don't get too excited with the wins. And it's like, yes, this is an adventure. We're going to accept all the experiences that come our way.
Yeah, spot on, spot on. I think for a while in the beginning, like, we kept thinking that we go back or maybe go somewhere else. We were young and, didn't have kids back then. But
Okay.
yeah. So, but once, like, my daughter was born, then you start to grow your roots a little
Yeah.
bit and things start to feel more settled, and then you don't want to be like we didn't want to be running around with kids, and especially as we know,
Sure.
like, you don't have much support here, like with no family system or anything like that.
True. Yeah, that is so true. Yeah. And I can only imagine 21 years ago, you must have felt it even more acutely. Things are very different these days.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
And even like, to be honest, I admire you so much. Like, you say you're new to Australia. Does not look, you don't look new to Australia. You're a part of the fabric already, and which
I
is
do
so
feel like
amazing.
I'm home for sure. Like I still remember the day I landed in Adelaide, the
Yeah.
interactions I had even with the border security, and I was like, this is my place. Why have I not like this is perfect. I've always felt at home. It has
Wow.
been different, yes, but I don't feel like I don't feel like it's like a strange place in that sense. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. It's nice to have that validated by someone who can see that.
100% total validation, man.
Thank you.
So yeah, as I was saying, like, you're right. 21 years ago, it was very different. Like simple things like I'm a vegetarian. Finding vegetarian food was a challenge. It was
Sure.
a serious challenge, right? You would only have one sad thing on the menu if you went out to eat and stuff like that,
Sure.
right? And
I
then
don't think much has changed. Like if you go to a cuisine which is not Indian, then vegetarian options are usually still pretty limited.
very limited, but I can tell you, Nana, from one to maybe they've gone up to three. So you'll probably find something in entree. I like a
Sure,
couple of things in entree, and then maybe like at least one, if not two, vegetarian
sure.
options. That's
Yeah.
it's a funny thing, but so even things like that, right? The availability and and then the whole, like, the vegan movement was kind of picking up, and the whole vegetarian movement. So you
Yes.
still have these, salad bars pop up and stuff. Like, so, and yeah, coming back to what we were saying, that,
Yes.
21 years ago, it was a very, very different place. And but yes, being young, I think, helps.
Oh, for sure. Oh my God. I wish I wasn't 45, because if I was 24, I would be very different right now. The kind of
Yeah,
things I would be doing and pursuing would be completely different. But yeah, I understand. Yeah.
I hear
How did
you.
you how did you start Circle of Calm? Were you doing meditations before that? Because I've seen you've even done Sadhguru's inner engineering, which is not like your run of the mill. Oh, let's go do this workshop. It's. I mean, I'm again, I'm not really into the whole spirituality
Yeah,
scene per se.
yeah,
My last partner, he did introduce me to a lot of spirituality concepts that I probably didn't know that well.
yeah.
But this is a pretty interesting thing that you've done. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So I have always had inclination towards spirituality. So I have meditated for a very, very long time. And in my own practice, I felt that that was my, like, cornerstone. It was something that always grounded me. And it was something that was sacred for me. It was like my time, my practice, my connection with the divine. And divine can be anyone or anything. It is not religious, right? It could be the
Yes.
source, it could be universe, it could be a god that you believe in, or it could just be your higher self, right? Whatever that you feel most connected with.
Hmm.
And so I think, I kept going deeper into it, and I, of course, was enjoying it so much. I absolutely really wanted to explore more. And then I started to notice how this practice that I had, right, it was really helping me in my day to day, where it was helping me be more calm. It was helping me be more, like, more present, and not take things too seriously. So I think,
Sure.
and also, like, as we were saying, being in a new country, having no support, trying to do everything yourself, be it home, be it work, be it kids, like, it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I definitely found a lot of comfort and courage and strength in my practice.
Okay.
And I went through, like, a difficult situation at
Of
work.
course.
And it was that situation where, I experienced a lot of passive aggressiveness, and it was
Ah,
very challenging, right? And on one side, you are doing really well, but on the same side, you are experiencing that, right? So it can
yeah.
be very unsettling, and you don't know what to even do, right? You feel
Sure.
you are
Yeah.
doing so well, you just can't drop your job and say, I'm out of here, kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And but it was definitely in one of my meditations. Actually, I still remember that moment of epiphany, that, having that strength from within speak up to me, say that it's okay for you to leave your job. You will find
Wow.
something else.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
And that actually, I think, was the start of my, like, moving on from there and everything. And also finding that inner strength. And that was so almost like life changing for me, that I just
Not
thought
available. Please leave.
I would
Sorry.
want to share this with everyone. That's okay. Yeah. Thought there was only
Sure.
one.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's
So
so you used to work a corporate job, I'm assuming.
yes, yes.
And so you moved on from that and you took some time to start your own practice, or was this like an immediate thing that I wanted to do this and I'm going to do it?
It was in parallel, Nana. So, didn't have the luxury where I could just say, I'm not gonna, have my day job or anything like that. I moved from that particular job where I felt that I was doing really well, and I could not, like, you don't probably leave such good jobs and
Sure.
move to other places, but I did, because I chose myself in that moment, and I felt that, I deserved better. So for me, that was, I think, that was something. That's when I discovered, like, one of the points where we have so much strength within us that we don't
Yeah.
need, right?
Yeah.
And
I
I really wanted to
you
share that
you
with everyone.
saying that is making me a little uncomfortable because I
Oh.
have only recently started acknowledging the strength that I have internally. I mean, I've always been the whole because I went through this whole phase of life of like be strong and you'll get
Mm.
through this. You know, my dad was in the
Yes.
army, so it was always like, yeah, you will get through this and you know it's fine and all that. But I was a little tired of being told to stay strong. So I was
Mm.
like, I don't want to be strong anymore. Like, give me a break.
Yes.
But I think I realize that it's internally because I had the strength or the resilience or
Mm.
the relentlessness to just be
Mm.
like, no, you know, we'll get through this. This is a phase.
Mm.
Everything is a phase. You get through it. You get through it. So when you
Mm.
say that, because it's new to me, I'm still like, but is it like, do I actually have the strength or am I just like, I don't want to be strong anymore? So for me, I'm currently, you
In the
know,
yes.
yeah, in the middle. I'm trying to find like a balance between constantly like go, 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 and you're like strong and you'll make it, and being like, it's okay, take a breath. You deserve some
Yes.
time off. You know, you don't
Yes.
always have to do everything by yourself. So I'm somewhere in the middle right now.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a journey. And thank you so much for sharing because a lot of us as women, we experience what you have just said, right? We have constantly been told, like growing up, that just move on. Like you are strong. Like,
Yeah,
no need to cry. Just move on, right?
yeah,
And make sure that you're doing everything for everyone else. And with a smile on your face, man, you are not allowed.
yeah,
You are not
yes,
allowed to complain. And if you complained, you became like the bad girl, the girl
yeah,
who complained, and that was
yeah,
not okay, right?
yeah,
So we
yeah.
always were, a lot of us were people pleasers. Like, I
Oh,
was
oh
like,
my God.
the good girl
I
of the
could wear a
first store, I
crown.
guess.
People pleaser queen. Yeah. I'm working on that. I'm really like working on that because thankfully I've had some help. My sister, she does breathwork coaching in India.
Yes.
And even though my last partner and I, we didn't work out, he did teach me a lot of things about, you know,
Yes.
pausing in the moment and acknowledging where it sits in my body and what am I feeling and connecting
Mm.
with that instead of just trying to like suppress it and
Yes.
putting myself first. So, but it's still uncomfortable because I mean I was at a point where I didn't even recognize that I was doing these things. So I couldn't even
Mm.
acknowledge it. But
Yes.
now that I'm slowly, because I'm pausing, I am able to be conscious and aware that, oh my God, I'm saying this because I want the other person to like me, but that's not what I actually want. It
Yes.
makes me so uncomfortable.
It is really uncomfortable. Saying yes to yourself, as noble as it sounds, is really hard when all our life, all we have done is saying no to ourselves.
Yeah.
So just that feeling of guilt is so huge, even for small things, right?
Yes.
Even for the tiny things, when we say yes to ourselves, we question it first. And
Yeah.
then, as you are saying, having that awareness is so important because if there is no awareness, then we cannot do anything. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of people, lot of amazing women are still in that unaware stage, right?
Yes.
And that is
Yes.
another thing, like, with coaching, I was working in, like, corporate and in public service, and I met so many amazing women because all these places that I worked, interestingly, were like, women heavy, like, female heavy organizations.
Interesting. Okay.
So interesting. So it was like, I started working, like, in publishing, in newspaper, then publishing, and then, in health and everything. So a lot of amazing women. And all I saw a lot of was that, these women were so talented, so amazing, but they did not advocate for themselves, including myself, right?
Yeah.
It took me a long time to realize that I was just being the good person, which was coming from, like, we do that at home and then we take it to work with us. And we
Yes.
were always told, and that whole concept of our, like, being respectful. If somebody is senior in age, that's what we learned. You never speak up or you never
Uh-huh.
say anything.
Uh-huh.
And so, here there is not that, there's no such concept here, but we brought that, we took
Yes.
it to work. So if anybody was, senior in age, whoever, whether they were your boss or anything, or, or if they were your boss, you thought that, oh my God, they are the god, so you got to listen to the god and you can't talk in front
Yes.
of the god. That's what
Totally. Yeah.
so
It's
that is when I was like, this is, and all those women, like, I saw, were being passed over. They did not get any, like, they did not get the promotions, they did not get the opportunities. And unfortunately, people, like, who were not as good were getting those opportunities because they were so vocal about it. They were advocating for
Yeah.
themselves, and and they were probably being seen, being heard. So that was my, honestly, the reason for being a coach, was to empower. I was like, we have to break this pattern with our generation, right?
Yes.
Because we
Yes.
can't pass it on from our generation to the next generation and to the next generation. So we have to raise awareness. And it's not about being, because I sometimes get to hear, and I actually posted about it, that that you are you saying that we become selfish, that when you say empowerment, it's
No.
like, do you become selfish? Are you asking me to become like self-centered, selfish, even as a joke, right? But that's not what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's choosing yourself too. It's like me as well. I like
Yeah.
include me as well in whatever we are doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I've also had a similar challenge because it's like, am I being selfish? Am I being like
Mm,
self-centered? And I think now after I moved here, I took some time off for the first time in my life because I feel like I was constantly like on and
yeah.
hustling. And that was not very good for my bank balance, but otherwise it was really good for my inner growth and
Yes.
and it's definitely been very interesting for me to be come to a point where someone asked me that you are saying this because you know that that's what I want to hear.
Mm,
But what do you want? And
mm,
I stopped in that moment and I realized that I did not know what I wanted. I
yes.
have always been doing things that I thought other people wanted.
Yes.
My what my mom wanted or what my dad wanted, and even they might not even have clearly articulated that, beta, this
Mm,
is what we want you to do. But I just took it on me, and I do
mm,
that with everyone, especially in my personal. Thankfully, I don't have the problem in my professional life because I walk away from jobs like this.
yeah.
I do not take any bullshit in my professional, sphere at all.
Yeah.
But in my personal, it's the complete opposite. It's
Mm,
like I sat down and I was like, what do I want?
mm,
Like, what kind of partner do I want?
mm.
I don't know. It's like
No.
if anybody drops me some crumbs and they're nice to me, I'm like, this is fine. And I'm like, no, but Naina, like, what do you actually want? And I'm like, shit, I don't know. And I don't think want to articulate it because it's so scary, because it feels like, okay, what if I articulate it and then I don't find it? Then I
Mm,
become a failure. So, I mean,
mm.
I'm aware of all these internally, but
Yeah.
translating it to real life is, I think, a little challenging because it requires you to really slow down, which
Yeah.
is, not how most of us are raised. Everyone's like, come on, let's do it,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah.
So then actually forcing yourself to slow down, talking
Yes.
slowly,
Yeah.
chopping vegetables slowly, everything to just,
Yeah,
does that
calming,
make
exactly,
sense?
regulate. 100%. And a lot of the times our nervous systems are so dysregulated, right?
Yeah.
Because we are just going, like, it's go, 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 no time to think, no time to process.
Yeah.
And so it is, and I think, as you rightly said, it is about slowing down, but also I think making that conscious effort to go within. And
Hmm.
sometimes, seeking help, because we were never taught to seek help, because
Oh,
seeking
yes,
help was a
that too.
failure, right?
Yeah.
Like, how can I not know everything? Or how
Yeah.
can I need help?
Yes. Yeah. That's another thing that after coming to Australia, I realized, because, and
Hmm.
I came to that realizing language. Like in India, if someone offers you tea, for example, you're like,
Hmm.
no, 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 thank you.
Yeah.
It's like a ritual there. They'll ask you 3, 4 more times,
Yeah.
and then eventually you say yes. Whereas here in Australia, if someone asks you like, oh, would you like to have a cup of coffee? And you're like, no, thank you. And they'll be like, okay. And then I was like, wait, no, no, I want the coffee. So it's then I realized that it's here people, yes, they're nice and they're warm and they are very helpful and they will
Yeah.
do whatever they can,
Yeah.
but they can't read your mind, right? You have to be open and ask them that, dude, I need help with this. Can you help me? And then, of course, it's up to the other person to say yes or no, which is another challenge, that am I okay with hearing a no?
Yeah.
But it's been very interesting. Like the gentleman who gave me a car, he just gave it to me. He said, I have cars, you don't have a car. How will you get around for photography? And
Hmm.
it made me so uncomfortable. And I took a
Absolutely.
deep breath. I looked at him and I said, Robin, I'm going to ask you once. And I was like,
Hmm.
are you sure? And he's
Yes.
like, yes. I said, okay, thank you. Please give me the keys. And for me, I was so proud of myself to be able to do that, that even now
Yeah.
I'm like, how did I do that?
I know, receiving, right?
Yes,
Giving is so easy. Giving, like, that comes
it is.
naturally to us because that's what we have done all the time. That's what we were
Yeah.
told to do, whether it was at home, growing up. This is what we were taught, right? Give, give, give a
Yes.
little bit more, right? And receiving was never taught. It was
Never.
and we
Yeah.
never
This is
taught.
currently one of my personal challenges. On every day, I will allow myself to receive at least once. Like
Yes.
if someone offers, I will not say no. I will take a breath and then
Yes.
I will say yes. And
Yes.
it's so uncomfortable, but yeah, but I'm surrounded by so many amazing people, like not just on
Yeah.
ground, but I was just speaking to someone I've met once, and we've met, we chat online sometimes, and she
Yeah.
lives here. She spoke
Yeah.
to me for an hour, and we were talking about work and other personal challenges, and I'm just like, she is offering me her time. It wasn't a verbal yes or no, but for me to actually sit with that and have a call for an hour, I was like, yes, I'm saying yes to receiving. So it's,
Yes.
yeah,
Little things, and it's the little things that matter. Like, I still remember when the discomfort, that when it was never receiving, right? Always fighting back, that no,
yes,
I don't need it. I no, I'm fine, I don't need it. Or no, I don't even need to sit down. I still remember so clearly, like, once I sat down, like on the lounge, and then that guilt, that how can I be sitting down? No, I
yeah,
surely, like, there's so much that I can be doing. And this is when you are spinning almost 24 cross 7, right? and
exactly.
and that moment where you have that discomfort, and it's like, what? Like, you can't even
Interesting.
allow yourself that time, where you can just sit down for 5 minutes and have that moment to yourself.
How do you all this? Okay, so you have your own personal experiences, right? You've done
Mhm.
some work yourself. How do
Mm.
you then translate it to doing retreats for brands like Reuters and Capgemini? Like how does that work? How did you start doing that? How did you get your foot in the door? I would love to know.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's a work in progress, I must say, because getting into corporates is a challenge, and it's running those mindfulness programs. And I think, having, like, reaching out, following up, and being patient,
Oh my
being
God.
more patient and more patient. And sometimes, it could be that if you have any contacts, you could probably, use those contacts to have the conversation. And a
Sure,
lot of the times, those conversations may not go anywhere. A lot
sure,
of the times, it may take months and months of nothingness, right?
sure,
Before something will turn around. So I think, if I do, I have a clear answer for you. I wish I could say this is a clear answer. I don't, but I can only say that, we just try. We just
sure,
try, because I am so passionate about this work as a
sure.
mindfulness and meditation teacher, and as an empowerment coach, like helping, like, professional women overcome everything that we have been talking about. Because all these things, they are we can talk about, like, be confident. What does being confident mean? Like, you just don't wake up saying one day, oh, I'm confident, like, I feel really, really confident now, like, that's it. It doesn't work like that, right? It is in small moments. There's a lot of work, because we all are carrying, as we have been talking about, we're carrying a lot of baggage from our past that
Yeah,
is having an impact on our emotional state. And it is having an impact on our mental state as well.
yep,
Because, it's the mindset. It's what we are allowing on a daily basis. Like, as you are sharing that, receiving is so hard. We have never been taught to receive. And even putting some time aside for our own practices, right?
yeah,
Even if it is
yeah.
something small, because, you get up in the morning and you start to go.
Yeah,
Especially
immediately. Yes, yeah.
immediately, right? Because you wake up having 10,000 thoughts in your mind already.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So,
yeah. That's another thing that I really, I mean, I don't know what to do about it. I don't want to call it a struggle. But it's
mm,
just like when I hit the pillow, it's like it's full. There are
mm,
just so many thoughts. Oh my God. I'm like, what? And I can see them like, bzz, 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 bzz. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm going to bed. It's not like I can do anything about it right now.
yeah,
So it's not going to help. But it's just, I mean, at some point, yes, I do fall asleep, but I find it a bit unsettling. And then in
yes,
the morning, the second I wake up, I try to do like, oh, good morning. These are my
yes,
arms. This is
yes,
my head. This is my
yes.
back. But I can feel it's already started in my head going, zzz, 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 zzz. And I'm like, okay, come on, let's check socials. How many followers do I have on YouTube now? What's going on Instagram? Who's left a comment? Is there something on WhatsApp? And I'm like, okay, Nana, breathe. Huh? It's like, I mean, I don't feel like I'm not really a huge fan of diagnoses, but if I had to, I'd be like, I probably have like ADHD or something, which is again, some form of dysregulation of the nervous system. And it's for, even though for someone like me, I don't have a 9 to 5 job.
Hmm.
For most people who have 9 to 5 jobs, how do they fit these things into their lives, even if they have to do a practice, for example? Like, what is the simplest thing you feel someone can start with?
I think the simplest thing, I'll start with like, what you were saying about thoughts first. I
Please,
completely
thank you.
understand being there. And I think if we can start to incorporate small mindfulness practices, even small meditation practice, honestly, it is the best gift that we can give ourselves. First is that awareness. For example, you have high levels of awareness that this is what is happening to you and that you want to do something about it, right? A lot
Yes,
of the time, as we were saying, people are like, yeah, whatever. They don't care, and maybe
yeah,
they haven't gotten to that stage where they feel they need to do something about it.
sure.
But for example, if you have that awareness and you feel it is impacting your well-being, in even if to a certain degree, you don't have to be living like that, right? Because there is a better way, there is another way that you can do. And the other way is starting your day or ending your day, in fact both, with a little bit of mindfulness, small meditation. I don't always say that, start with sitting quietly for 30 minutes somewhere in a corner or anything like that. I meditate even on trains, in buses, like, it's that accessible. Literally it is like, you have your eyes closed, you can meditate with your eyes open as well, depending on, where you are, because it is about your connection with yourself, right?
Hmm.
And it has nothing to do with anyone on the outside. It is I, me, within me. It's literally that, like, I'm connecting with myself. So you could be doing that 5 minutes in the morning. Start really small. I still remember in the beginning I would literally put in like a timer for 5 minutes, so I know
Sure.
exactly what you were saying, because my mind, the moment you sit down to meditate, you've got 10,000 thoughts coming straight at you, and
Yes,
things that you had never thought about even on a day-to-day basis, they are the things
yes,
that's going to come to your mind, right? But I would just suggest persist. Persist, persist, persist. Keep doing it. And even before you know, you're going to fall in love with it, because it's the most restorative thing that you can do to yourself. And you already, for example, for yourself, you already are aware of breath work, right? Those breathing practices, they are amazing. Like, make just, it's about honoring yourself. We may know certain things, but we don't allow ourselves to take those 5 minutes. Like, I love this thing, and I know Jay Shetty said this, and it always has stayed with me, that checking your phone in the morning, first thing in the morning, is like allowing 100 people in your bedroom. Like, how does that feel for you? And I use that analogy with kids, with my kids. Like I said, can you imagine all these 100 people standing in, like, at the end of your bed?
oh God, no, thank you.
Right? So how Why would you check your phone first thing in the morning? So I don't now. It's been a very long time.
Okay,
I don't check my phone for at least about, unless, like, of course, I'm expecting something urgent, something to do with
sure.
family, kids, or something like that. I don't check my phone in the morning. I give myself that time where, I have meditated, and then when I feel ready, that, okay, now I am ready, I'm going to check. Because honestly, Nana, it does not matter. We think everything is urgent, but is it really?
No, oh, no, that on that I'm
Yeah.
totally with you.
Yeah.
Because especially when I was back in India,
Hmm.
in India, people have no concept of personal space,
Yeah.
personal time. People will call you at all odd
Yeah.
hours. So
Yeah.
I was very, very difficult with that. I said, I do not add me to a WhatsApp group. If you add me to a WhatsApp group without checking with me, I will write you a really rude text. One, and I would immediately leave the group.
Yeah.
Secondly, why are you calling me at 7 a.m. on a Sunday?
Yeah.
Are you dying? If you are dying, what has that got to do with me? I don't even know who you are. You're
Yeah.
calling me to be like, oh, madam, we need someone to do a photography shoot like on Sunday evening. I was like, what were you doing 7 days before this? Did you just
Yeah.
wake up today and plan your event? No.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you
Yeah.
cannot call me. And I used to tell people that the phone is for my convenience, not
Yes.
yours. Just because
Yes.
you are unable to regulate your work or your timings, don't put
Yes.
that on me. So
Yes.
from that point of view, yes, I'm very clear on that. But I
Yes.
feel like I sometimes use the phone as a distraction when I'm trying not to sit with uncomfortable feelings.
That's
So
it.
then I'm like, oh, I don't want to think about it. Let me just pick up my
Yes.
phone and look at my socials.
Yes.
I am aware of it, but I still do it.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing, right? And you come to a point, I always say that in every moment, for everything, we have a choice. We,
Yes.
and it's up to us, what choice are we making? And a good question to ask is the choice that I'm making serving me or not serving me? If it is
Hmm.
serving you, go for it, right? If it is not serving you, at least give it a go. At least
Sure.
try another approach
Yeah. Yeah,
that
that's what
probably.
my sister was also telling me. So I broke up with someone recently,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it wasn't. I mean, it was amicable in the sense that we both agreed to end
Mm.
it. But
Mm.
I do feel that there was a bit of an impulse in that, and we're both feeling bad right now.
Yeah.
But I wanted to put distance between, so I try not to communicate because the tendency is to like, oh my God, like text, how are you doing? Are you okay?
Yeah.
So I was telling my sister that to cope with that, so that I don't chat with the person, I am
Mm.
chatting with Claude AI. I'm aware that it is AI, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, what do I do? And because I don't want to constantly bother my sister or my friends, like,
Yeah.
just don't be weepy all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So I'm chatting with Claude. So, she said something very interesting. She said,
Mm.
that's fine. You
Mm.
are aware that it is Claude. You are an adult. You are chatting. That's fine. Do that.
Mm.
But don't forget to check in with your body. Do
Mm.
your movements. Go for your walk.
Mm.
Do your shakes. Do your hip movements. Do
Mm.
that also.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, yeah, but it's
Yes.
easier to just chat with Claude. And Claude is like, are you
It
nuts? Why do you want to text him? Don't text him. But it's
Oh, I
another
know.
coping mechanism, essentially it's a coping mechanism.
It is.
The thing is, I get it, but I
Yeah.
still find excuses to not do it. So what you said about honoring yourself, I think I need to sit with that and yeah, do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and making a choice, because and again, even in this moment, I would invite you that it's really fresh. Be kind to yourself. You are going to have these moments where you are not going to want to do anything. I mean, break up or
Yeah.
moving on. It is a relationship, and that relationship has ended. So you have to allow that time where you can sit with it, and I don't know if grief is the right word, but
It is.
it is a
Yes,
kind
it
of
is.
grief,
Yeah.
right? But even in those moments, even if it is just as your sister is suggesting, I think simple things like moving, because when we move the emotions in our body. Otherwise, the energy gets stuck. Like if we are
Stuff.
stationary, right, then the
Yeah.
energy gets stuck. So if we keep moving, we allow those emotions to move through us, and that ways, they get processed. Maybe you are
So
running or walking, you may just start to cry, and that's okay, right?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So when you say that movement helps move emotions through our body, is it
Mm.
something that we need to be conscious about? Like when we are moving, do I need to, say that, oh, the emotions are moving through my body, or is it anyways going to happen as long as I'm moving?
I think so. I think it will just happen, being aware of it and allowing yourself. Like, for example, however you are feeling, if you are feeling sad, if you are feeling angry, if whether you're feeling angry with yourself or with the other person, or however you are feeling, allowing that feeling. I think we we have a lot of trouble with just allowing, because we are so good at pushing things under the carpet, because it is
Yes.
an uncomfortable feeling. We don't want to face it, we don't want to acknowledge it. So it is so important to acknowledge without any judgment, right? There is
Mm-hmm.
no right or wrong feeling. It is a feeling. It is not you. The feeling is no, you are not that feeling. Remember, you are not your thought, you are not your feeling. That is something that is happening,
Yeah.
and you
Huh.
just allow that. And when you create that little bit of distance between you and your thought, you and your feeling, in that space you have the agency, or you can then make a choice. What do I want to do with it? Do I want to just brush it under the carpet, or do I want to let it move through me and then release it as well, whether it is through breath work, whether it is through movement, through dance, through meditation, right? Otherwise we bottle it all up, and
Wow.
Claude will not help with that,
Yeah.
unfortunately. It's good, it's okay to talk to, like, to AI, and I know a lot of people are doing that, so I'm not saying you don't do it, but supplement with real world stuff as well,
Yeah.
you know.
Thank you. That was really sweet of you to say all that. I
Of
appreciate that.
course, it's, yeah, no,
With
I'm
Claude,
glad.
with Claude also, it's like I always interject and I always say that
Mm,
this is my point of view. So what I'm
mm,
giving you is just my perspective. So it's one
mm,
sided. So
mm.
do keep in mind that there is the other part of the story that is missing before you give me any advice. So Claude is always like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't know about that part of the story, but this is something that you could look at. So I'm always poking it and saying, play
Yeah,
devil's advocate. What if I'm the one who's crazy? What if I'm the one who fucked up? Like what,
yeah,
so keep
yeah,
that in mind. So
yeah, yeah.
I think I'm doing it more out of curiosity because
Yes,
I think it's a very interesting tool that we have at our disposal now.
for sure.
And but I do feel that things are a lot better now in the sense that, on a live video like this, I can ask you these questions and I can share with you of the
Yeah.
way I think and, that I've been through a breakup. And I really like that for everyone because I think the stigma that used to be attached with, oh my God, like, why are you going to a therapist? That used to be there, even when I was growing up.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
100%.
yeah. So I'm glad that has changed for sure. But in Australia, of course, things have been like that for a long time. So that's really cool to be in a place where everyone takes mental health seriously. Like I had a
Yes.
client reach out to me and say, I saw your video saying that you don't have anyone to talk to. You have me. I'm happy to get on a call with you. And she spoke to me for half an hour and I was just like, I was in tears. I was like, this is so kind for someone to do that. And I want to do that for other people as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
100% paid forward, and nothing beats human connection, and I
Oh,
think people, obviously everybody is in two minds about AI, and there's where there is good there is bad, and where there is bad there is always some good as
yeah.
well. But I genuinely feel, even as a coach, and for example, like they may say that you could just probably go to Claude or go to any other AI platform and do the coaching, but what
No,
you
I
give
don't
is
think
what
that's
you
a
get.
no,
Yeah.
no, no. It's you have there. I think like you said, it's even with therapy. There is
Mm,
talk therapy. There are so
mm,
many other types of therapy. There's somatic healing. There's
yeah.
meditation. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's a tool in that whole arsenal. You can't just
Yes.
be only do one thing. I feel like
Yes.
there has to be a gamut of things to choose from, and then pick what makes you come alive and you feel comfortable doing it and is actually helping you.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a solution at all. Like I said, I feel like it's a coping mechanism.
Yes. No, I'm 100%, but I'm not like, it's not to you, but we hearing these
Yes.
conversations are happening everywhere. And,
Oh God.
there is that, real worry, so to speak, or that, obviously, when these things happen, then the fear comes and everything. But I personally feel that, there is, like, nothing can beat this. Like, for example, what
I
we are
agree.
having here, right? They
I
no,
agree.
no, and then with AI, and some people are prone to such addictions as well, right?
Yes.
When
Yes.
it is very common, and it becomes even more important to have, as you were saying, like a toolbox. And again, when I say meditation is one of the tools, breathwork is one of the tools, therapy is like, one of the tools. It
Yes,
is about dancing, it is about moving, going out with your friends, doing maybe traveling. Sometimes
yes.
that's what you may need to do, right? And then, having a coach who is in your corner, they're going to help you move forward and stuff like that. So I think it is a whole lot of stuff. And you were right, I think here, as compared to in India, and I'm sure things are, I think, getting better in India
Oh, yeah,
now.
yeah, they
Yeah,
are, for
right.
sure. Oh my God,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. But I really admire you. I have to say that, Anna, that this like, you being able to, or you being so open and honest about how you feel, and even like, honestly, I don't think many people do that even. So you have to be really proud of yourself to be able to have a really wonderful way of saying that, and it's not even coming from a place of spite or resentment or anything, more a
No.
fact. And taking responsibility for yourself as well. It's not that, as you said, that I don't know who fucked it up here, maybe we both did.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure that we both did because it's never just one person, right? There is
Yeah,
always this dynamic and you
yeah.
feed off of each other. Honestly, it's one of the most interesting relationships I've been in
Hmm.
because I think both of us went into the relationship being aware that we are entering the relationship to activate each other so that we can get to know ourselves better internally.
Hmm.
So from that point of view, it was a very interesting 8 months.
Wow.
And I just feel that at some point, there were other factors at play. Like I said, like it, me taking time off was not good for my bank balance. So I came to a point where like I need to focus on
Hmm.
my
Hmm.
professional side so that I can pay rent. That
Yes,
was my biggest factor because
yes,
whenever we would get together, it would become, at least for me, my nervous system would relax. So I
yes.
wouldn't feel like really doing much.
Yeah,
And so my work was not, I wasn't doing any work essentially. So I
yeah.
think there were also external factors which then got us to a point where we were like, okay, this is not working for now. Let's step
Hmm.
away and, let's see. Now, what I do feel is that it was probably not communicated very clearly to each other, but, we'll see. So, it's like I'm aware, but I
Yes,
also carry so much conditioning from
yes,
45 years
of
that
course.
sometimes I genuinely get confused that is this
Hmm.
me talking or is this my conditioning talking, which is something that
Yes,
again I'm struggling with right now. I'm
of
working
course.
with it.
Yes,
So that's
yes.
yeah, like how do you do this? You do you work with individual clients like someone like me or when you do corporate retreats are they only about meditation or are you also doing coaching there?
So coaching is mostly at this stage one-on-one, or in, like, in a
Okay.
small group. For example, as
Okay.
you said, a client like yourself, for example, yes. So one-on-one
Sure.
coaching, and with corporates, it's mainly mindfulness programs that I have run. But, like,
Okay.
I can run other workshops, for example, whatever their needs are, knowing what their needs are, if they want to support their staff in a certain way. For example, it could be, building resilience, or maybe better communication. I'm a communications advisor. Like, I have worked in comms for a very, very long time as well.
Okay.
So, bringing that mindfulness into communication is so
Hmm.
important, because we know that, a lot of the times things break down, as you were saying, because of not
No
communicating well.
communication. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, and that happens at work all the time, all the
It
time.
does.
So,
Yeah.
those kinds of things. But for my coaching, it's mainly one-on-one or in small group coaching. And of course, with retreats that I do, the retreats are, it's like going away somewhere for a day. And, mostly they've been mostly women. I did have a couple of men in my first retreat, so they were open to all men and women. And just having that day to yourself, where you can, come home to yourself, you're able to, relax, restore, and reflect. Because, as we
Hmm.
have been saying, in our day-to-day life, we rarely sit down and reflect. Like, all of us know about, journaling, and we know about, taking time, but how many of us really do
Really?
it?
And this is from someone who loves writing. But I
Yes.
think I've just fallen out of the habit and now getting back into it, I'm like, I will write this thought. It will take me 20 minutes to write it on paper. I can type it
I
out and
can.
quickly chat with Claude instead. So yeah, totally guilty. And I remember when I was a preteen, I used
Yes.
to have like a stack of journals. Like I used to
Yes.
write so much. That's how I
Wow.
used to process. And
Yes.
I have always journaled my entire life. But for some reason, in the last 4 years, both the things have dropped off. I have stopped reading books and I have
Yes.
stopped writing. And
Yes.
I feel like it will come back because now I have also started writing more on the blog.
Yes.
Because when I do the podcast, I go from the transcript, there are blog posts that are written and stuff. So I do feel like it might come back, but honestly, just the physicality of taking a pen and putting it on paper now is like, oh my God,
Yes, it is.
so
And
much
that's
work.
something I really drum into my clients when I work with them. Like, just what you said. It's so easy for me to type. I said, there is a difference when you type. Yes, you can type. That's a great starting point. At least do it. But can we please also have a journal? Even if you write one sentence, I don't care. Like, I don't
Yeah,
want you to write paragraphs upon paragraphs. I just want you to get into the habit, as you are saying, right? Get into the habit, because there is something, like, you are a writer, there is something about putting pen on paper. There is that,
yeah,
and scientifically as well, there is a connection between your fingers and your brain, right? We
yeah.
activate those parts of our brain as well. So
The way I look at writing is, in the Harry Potter movies, you
yeah.
have Dumbledore, right? Every time he goes back to his room, his chambers, he takes his wand, he puts it to his temple, and it's like he withdraws something from his temple, and there is this big bowl, and then he puts it in that and he leaves it there. And it's called a pensieve. pensieve, pensieve, like a sieve, like a
Right.
chalni.
Yeah.
And that's what I think writing is. Taking a pen
Yes.
to paper is essentially taking all of it out from here and
Yes.
putting it there.
Correct.
But one thing that has stuck with me, and I think that is going to stay with me, what you have said, is honoring yourself. I
Mm,
feel like if I can remind myself that I'm doing this to honor myself, I'm probably more likely to do it and make it a
mm.
habit.
And it's really important, and that is because when we honor ourselves, so we give permission to us to honor ourselves. So imagine, if we can honor ourselves, then we can give permission to other people so they can honor themselves. Now imagine if everybody is able to honor themselves, they will show up in the world that much better. Because when you are feeling fulfilled within, when you are feeling like, that I trust myself,
Yeah,
I can show up in the world that much better.
yeah,
Because a lot of the
yeah,
problems we see, like, when in behaviors, in how we show up, it all stems from how we are on the inside.
yeah,
It is a
yeah,
lot of our own baggage, our own insecurity. So the work, that, for example, even the program that I have, it's about, moving from self-doubt to self-trust, because I think it is about trusting yourself again.
I need to sign up for that. Because Deepika, the self-doubt is unreal.
It's
Like
insane,
I and
isn't
I
it?
I tell myself that I have been here for 45 years. I have done pretty well for myself. I should
Yeah.
be proud of myself.
Mm.
But every decision, especially in my personal life,
Yes.
mainly in my personal life, not in my professional life,
Yeah.
I will second guess everything. Like, even,
Mm.
I sit with my body and I feel like, oh, there's some discomfort here. I'm like, but what is it? It could be that. And I'm like, no, go with your instincts. What?
Yes.
Trust yourself. So, another thing that I'm working on. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. We are all work in progress. And it's so important because we are not perfect. There is nothing like being perfect. I
Oh, sure.
believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And there is, at any given point in time, there is always something that we can grow. Like, I'm saying these things, but there are so many things internally that, I continue to work through as well. It is
Oh,
an
of course.
everyday job. Like, um working on yourself is an everyday job. It is
It
not like
sounds
you do it
exhausting,
once.
yeah. People who have jobs, people who have children, families, how do they do it? How are they going to cope with it? Because even for someone like me, I'm trying to build my work in a place like Adelaide where I'm new, I don't really know a lot of people. Even for me, I find it challenging because my tendency is to be like, focus on work, focus on work, focus on work. So for someone, I don't have kids, I don't have a family, I don't have to go to report to a boss. So even for someone like me, I find it challenging. So, do you work usually with people who have 9 to 5 jobs,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%, 100%. It honestly, it's about building habits. And that's another
Hmm.
piece of work that I do with my clients, is we all have more than enough time in our day. We are just
Mm.
not using.
I want to hide under my table now.
We are so good at giving ourselves excuses. I'm going to call it out. I'm sorry, Nana.
True. No, no, I call myself out all the
I
time, but then I
know.
still don't do it.
Yeah, that's right. So again, it comes down to choice. It comes down to making that choice. Are you choosing yourself or not?
Hmm.
If you are choosing yourself, you will make those 10 minutes of time to meditate, whether it is to journal, whether it is to go out for a walk, go to the gym, whatever works for you, right? You will make that time. And on yourself, knowing that if I work on myself, I show up better for myself, for my family, for my work, for my community, for my world. So we see the ripple effects. Is
Yeah.
it not worth it, is the question.
Hmm. Yeah, I suppose it is. I'm
This
just
was
like,
not meant to sound so exhausting.
no, no, it's not that. It's just
I'm
I
joking. I'm
think
joking.
I think it's
Yeah,
just the space that I'm in right now.
I know.
I really like, so my, one of my challenges my whole life has been structure. Like
Yes.
even with work, I'll have 5,000 ideas and then
Yes.
I will pick five and I will execute all of them. And then I'll be like, oh, is this working? Is this not working? And I think there is some internal structure. I might not be able to articulate it, but I
Yes.
look at something, I'm like, this is not working and this
Yes.
is working.
Yes.
So I tend to do that. Like it's like shooting buckshot, you just shot
Yes.
everywhere and then you're like, huh, that's working.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my own self, you're right. I don't think I've been in the habit of honoring myself because
Yes.
it's always been about other people and
Yes.
or even work wise to be like, oh, like I should look like I'm a good photographer.
Mm.
Everyone should feel that, yes, she's so successful. So
Mm.
even though I might not be doing it consciously, I know it's there in the back of my head. And
Yes.
slowly, slowly, I am becoming conscious of it. But my first reaction is always embarrassment. I feel like, oh my God, Naina, how can you be like that? I didn't think you were like that. So
Yeah, that
yeah. Yes.
judgment, and these are just parts of us. If we remember that this is not our whole self, our true self is pure, right? These
Mm.
are little things, these are parts of us. And if we can be compassionate towards those parts, even the part that's being judgmental towards us, what is it doing? It is really just trying to protect you because, you are chartering in unfamiliar territory and it's just saying, are you sure, Nana, you want to do that? Like, we've never done it before, like in the past 45 years, and this is completely new. Are you sure you want to do it? So, if you just see that it's just trying to protect you from
Yeah.
something that it sees
True.
as, as unfamiliar, because, and then it just, sends a signal to your brain is just telling you that it's a dangerous territory. It's not
Mm.
dangerous. It's not dangerous, but your brain thinks that because it doesn't know any better. So if we
Yeah.
can be compassionate towards ourselves and take that approach where we are not judging our judgment, so to speak, you know what I'm saying, like say that,
Ah.
okay, thank you for that thought, a really good way to intercept, especially with the kind of awareness that you have, for example, that okay, thank you, I appreciate, but I think I'm going to be okay, like literally having that
Ah.
conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
That and fear is it is just something that discomfort, it always comes from a place of wanting to be safe, that and your brain
Mm.
is just trying to do that because from an evolution perspective as well, we lived in caves, and our brain was always attuned to looking for danger so it
Yeah.
could keep us safe. But these days we are not living in caves anymore, or in those jungles and stuff. So these things like judgment, anxiety, so these are the modern, I always say they are the saber-tooth tigers of modern day living. So we just have
Yeah.
to, our brain is just trying to protect us, keep us safe, and that's why it comes up with these thoughts.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. True. Wow. Thank you. That was I mean, it's again, I'm aware of these concepts, but when it comes to actually applying them, it's so challenging. Okay,
It takes
we have
practice.
six minutes left.
Okay.
So, is there anything you would like to talk about your work and what are your plans with Circle of Calm? Are there
Yes.
any new projects you're working on?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So obviously my coaching, which is like, I work with high achieving professional women, men as well, but mostly women, helping them, overcome everything that we have been talking about, the self-sabotaging patterns, the self-doubt, working on, building emotional resilience, having a strong mindset, and then setting a vision for yourself. Like, where do we want to go from here? It doesn't stop just, working. So sometimes clients come to me for a short coaching period. For example, they want to work through a decision. I helped a few clients last year where they were, when you are at crossroads and you don't know which way to go, right, and then you
Yeah,
seek help. So I've done that. But if we look at a full program, it is taking you on a journey where you go through that whole emotional, mental, and then set a vision for yourself, that inner transformation where
yeah.
you are then set, right? So that's the kind of work. And then I am also I have just launched my monthly circles here in Sydney.
Oh, nice.
And
Okay. What are these?
yeah,
Tell me more.
so these are women's circles. So creating a space for women to come together once a month, for a couple of hours, and includes like meditation, space for reflection. And my intention is to bring along guest facilitators, to do an activity, which is restorative. For example, for the one that we are having in April, it's and I still haven't advertised it or like put it up. But I've got a yoga instructor and a remedial massage therapist who's going to walk everyone through abhyanga, like the self massage. So
Okay.
people can learn to do that, because we know that
Oh,
how great it
wow.
is, yeah, to be able to do that on yourself, and then to do that with either your partner or your children or any other family member. So
Oh,
that, and
most
then
excellent. That
time.
sounds amazing. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that's my project. Finally, I've done it. Like, I meant to do it. I've been meaning to do it. I was looking for a space. Finally, found this beautiful studio. And so launching on 18th April is the first monthly circle.
Oh,
Um,
brilliant. Okay. How do we like find out about it? Where can we sign up? Is this on your website?
Yeah, so I'm going to put it up on my socials, so
Okay.
on Circle of Calm, and on my Facebook as well. So I would invite people to follow me along on Facebook, just my name. You can find me on Facebook with my name, and on Instagram it's circle.off.calm.
Yeah, so
So
on Instagram, it's circle.off.calm. You can
correct.
follow Deepika's work there. And yeah, because I think like most of my audience is going to be like Instagram, but there are going to be people who are going to be just listening to this and not watching this on podcast platforms. So
Yes, yes.
yeah, thank you for sharing that. So you're launching it on the 18th of April, you said.
18th of April is the first
Oh,
circle.
it's on the first. Okay,
It's
okay,
on, yeah, it's the first circle of for
okay.
April, starting. So, and then there's going to be one in May and June. So it's going to be an
Every month.
ongoing thing. Yeah.
Okay,
So
got
done
it.
that, and and then of course I'm a speaker as well, and I am exploring opportunities to speak, and again, like on the topics of empowerment and mindfulness and resilience and all those things. So
Excellent.
just
Okay.
deriving from the work that I do, because I think it is just so important, that that we feel we belong within ourselves. Like, we may want to belong in a group, we may want to belong in the society, we may want to belong in the community, but do we belong within us, is the
Yeah,
question, right?
yeah. Wow, that is beautiful. Two
Mm.
things belong within ourselves and to honor ourselves. Wow. Okay. That is
Yeah,
brilliant, Deepika. Thank you so much. This
thank
was really
you.
nice. So very kind of you to patiently answer my questions and
Oh,
listen to me and talk to me. And I'm sure you're a brilliant coach. I mean, this whole 1 hour session is total evidence of that. And you have a very nice and calm energy about you. You talk very kindly. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
thank
And
you.
do you have any plans of doing this beyond Sydney, like coming to Adelaide, going to Melbourne, and doing your circles there? I think it would be wonderful.
I would absolutely love to do that, Nana. Definitely. In fact, within Sydney as well, like, my intention is to maybe branch it out, like, maybe do a circle in different parts of the city so that people can come. Would definitely love to do it in Adelaide. Come and see
Sure,
you
yeah.
in Melbourne, and overseas as well. So retreat
Of
overseas is
course.
definitely on the cards. And hoping that it
Excellent.
comes
Oh,
through.
that's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. But yeah, I'll follow you. I'm following you already on your Instagram, and I'll keep track so that if there's anything happening near me, I can sign up.
Yes, please
Do
come
you
to
also
Sydney.
do sessions like on Zoom or something,
On
or
Zoom.
does it have
Yes.
you
The
do? Okay,
coaching sessions
excellent,
are mostly on Zoom. Unless
excellent.
somebody makes like a request that they want to do it in person, they are mostly online. So it's really
Got it.
easy, accessible, convenient.
Okay, cool. Okay. Thank you so
Yay!
much. We have done an
Thank you.
hour. It flew by. I
I
didn't even
know.
come to know.
Right.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you so
amazing.
much.
Keep
Thank you.
shining. And
Oh, thank you so much.
yeah, and I love your honesty and vulnerability. Honestly, it is your superpower. And I am
Oh,
like, it's been an absolute pleasure.
thank you so much, Deepika. Thank you for joining us, and I'll stay
Thank
in
you.
touch with you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.